All right, welcome to lesson 9 on in Dreamweaver. We're going to talk about creating interactivity and adding some cool stuff, some different media. So we're gonna do some additional things that can really enhance your website and create some cool things. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure you're in your striped umbrella site here, and I'm going to pull this up a little bit. Double click CSS styles to knock that down. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a pop-up message. And that message is going to go onto our activities page. So I'm going to double click my activities page to open that up. And so here's that activities page we made in the striped umbrella. We're going to create a pop-up message that attaches to this family picture. Okay. Now, the way that I need to do that though is first I need to create a new page that will be the pop-up message. So to create a new page, I'm going to go over here to my file panel. I'm going to right click on the striped umbrella root folder, and I'm going to click new file. And I'm going to name that wildlife underscore message. And then it'll be .html. Okay, and then I'm going to double click on that to open that up. So here's that wildlife message. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some information to this to be a part of my pop-up message. So I'm going to type in our property is not far from a wildlife reserve. While it is tempting to feed some of the beautiful birds we enjoy, feeding wildlife creates an artificial gathering area, which is bad for wildlife and you. Okay, and I will leave it just like that. Now, I can see spell check here. I got white. If you want a spell check, you can click on Commands up top and go to check spelling right there in the dead middle. And you can click and it'll find and say, oh, look at that. That would be of I want there, right? So I'm going to click change. Artificial, I typed wrong. So let's change that. And it's reached the end, so I can press yes, and my spell check is complete. Untitled document, I'm going to type up here wildlife message just to make sure we're covering dotting all our I's and crossing all our T's. I'm going to go Control S and save this. That is now a page saved in my root folder. I'm going to go ahead and close that and go back to my activities page. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to add to this picture. So I'm going to click on this picture and I'm going to add a behavior. Okay, and so to get to my behaviors, I'm going to click on Window and I'm going to go down to Behaviors and I'm going to click on Behaviors. Okay, and you can see that Behaviors is in this tag inspector right here. And you need to click on it to be able to get to the behaviors. And what I'm going to add, I'm going to click the plus sign and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a open browser window is what I'm going to add. So I'm going to click open browser window and it's going to pop up this dialog box. And it says, okay, URL to display. All right, well, I'm going to pick browse and the one I want to display is in my site root. And it's that new page I just made called wildlife message. So I'm going to double click that to add that as my URL to display. Now that little pop-up window, I can go ahead and I can set the dimensions on that. Okay, and so I'm going to set the dimensions on that at 200 by 200 width and height. And then I can go down to and add a window name. I'm going to name this message and set the dimensions for this, and I'll press OK. And then you'll see here that that picture now has the behavior to open a browser window on a click. Okay, so now essentially what I have is I have to click it to see that. Well, that's not what I want. I want when my user touches it, I want it to pop up. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click the drop down list and I'm going to go down to on mouse over. And for whatever reason, it's like a flaw. You got to do it twice to get it to work. So go do it again and then it will stay on mouse over. So now when I F12 this and click yes to save changes and preview it in the browser, when I touch that picture, a pop-up is going to try to come up. Now, did you notice that it didn't come up? The pop-up window blocked it. So if I click here and I go ahead and allow it, now that pop-up menu should pop up. And so there's that pop-up menu that'll pop up when I touch this. Anytime I touch this, this pop-up menu is going to come up, which can actually be kind of irritating. By rule on most of your settings here at school, those are blocked. Okay, so which is probably a good thing. All right, so I can close this and go back and then go pop back to Dreamweaver. And we just added a behavior. Okay, and we just added a mouse over behavior and created a pop-up message or open a browser window for when we touch that picture. So that's something that we can do as well. Now, we can also add what are called rollover images. So I decide I want to make this page a little better. I want to add another picture of a dolphin. So I'm going to go click in this last cell on my table. I want to get in that cell, not on this picture. So I would click TD, not image. If I press tab, I can add a new row to this table. Apparently not when I'm on the TD tag, though it doesn't allow me to. If I click here, press my right arrow, and get my cursor here and press tab, I believe I will add a new row. So I can do that. I'm going to go Control Z and undo that. You can also click in a table and go up to modify table, and you can go ahead and you can insert a row, insert a column, insert rows or columns. I like this because then I can say insert a row 1 below the selection, press OK, and I can insert myself a new row. So tab from the last cell or go to modify table and add rows and columns. I'm going to go ahead and select across these two cells and I'm going to merge this. So right below row here in the properties, click the little merge button. I'm going to say horizontal center and we're going to put in a picture right here. Now I'm going to use Photoshop because I'm going to put in an image and I'm going to create a rollover image. So I need the size of the image to be the same for both of these. So I'm going to open up Photoshop right away because I know I'm going to be editing some pictures. And then I'm going to go to find two pictures of dolphins that we can create a rollover image with. So I'll maximize this. I'll minimize it again. I'm going to go out into Chrome, open a new tab, and I'm going to type dolphin. Center. I'm going to click images, and I'm going to find a couple images that I want to create or I want to play with. So I'm going to create a rollover image. So I'm going to go find the pictures that I want to use. I decide this one looks pretty good, so I'm going to click on this one. It's 3155 by 1778, so this is a really big picture. So I'll right-click that. I'll copy that image. I'll go back to Photoshop. I'm going to go File, New. The clipboard saves those dimensions. I press OK. And then I'm going to go Edit, Paste to paste that image into there. Okay, let's go find another picture. So I'm going to go back And we'll close this, and I look and I say, you know, what would be a good picture with this? Maybe just this picture of this mom and this baby. Click it. What's the size? 660 by 410. That's a little small, but I'll go with it. We're working with two pretty different size pictures. Right click, copy image. I go back to Photoshop, file new, 660 by 410, press OK, edit paste, and there it is. So these are my two pictures. Well, this one's viewing at 100%, this one's viewing at 25%. So this is 4 times bigger. Well, this is not going to create a very good rollover image when they're not the same size. So I'm going to say, gosh, what do I want my size to be? Thinking about my table at about a width of 1,000. Maybe I take and resize this image and see what it is. Okay, so I'm going to go image size. Let's go for a width of 800. And it's going to adjust my height. And it's going to resample the image because it should lose a little quality making it bigger, but it should still look pretty good. Okay, so this image size right here is 800 by 497. I got to know that because I want the other image to be the exact same. I can go ahead and export this picture now to my assets. So I'm going to go File, Save for Web, save it as a JPEG, and I'm going to make sure I'm in my assets, which I am, it looks like here already. So in my Documents, Striped Umbrella folder, Assets, and I'll just save this as Mom Baby Elf. So I know what it is. Just go Dolphin. Save. 800 by 497. Okay, close it. How do I get this one to be 800 by 497? Well, the best thing to do is just like we do when we do a 500 by 500 pixel canvas. Grab your crop, click, and go down to size and resolution. And I'm going to set that to 800 by 497. I don't want to say this is a crop preset, so I'm going to take that off. It's a custom crop, and it gives me that dimension. And I could say, geez, I want to go as far over here as I can. That looks pretty good. Stamp it down. That becomes 800 by 497 as well. It's only viewing at 25%. If I view it at 100%, here's my actual size now. Click my move tool to get my crop off of there. I'm ready to export this one. So I'm ready to go. File, save for web, save. I'll name this Dolphins Jumping. Save in my assets. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I don't need the original. I'm good with Photoshop. Close this. So now I'm going to go into Dreamweaver and I want to put in a rollover image. Okay, and I have those two images in my assets now, so I'm able to do this. They're in here. Get that purple swirl to make sure they are. They are in there. Mom and baby and dolphins swimming or dolphins jumping are ready to go. Okay, so insert, and I'm going to go down to image objects, rollover image. Bang. Image name. Okay, so dolphins. I don't know. That'll be good. What's the original image I want? Browse, assets. The original I want, I'm going to go with those dolphins jumping. I like that one a little better. So I press OK. Rollover image. I'm going to browse, and when I touch it, it's going to turn to the mom and the baby dolphin. Mom baby dolphin image. Press OK. That's my rollover image. Alternate text, I'll just type dolphins at play. When clicked, go to URL. Well, where do you want it to go to? Well, I'll browse, and maybe if they click that, that'll take them to the cruises page, the Dolphin Cruises adventure we have. I press OK, it'll insert that rollover image. Okay, it's not going to work when I'm in here working with this. If I press live, then I should be able to see it work. Okay, I'll take live back off. But if I F12 this, click yes to save changes, check it out in the browser, now this becomes a rollover image. They're exactly the same size. If you don't make them the same size, you're going to see some distortion. You're going to see some things being kind of weird as far as the shape. You want to make sure they're the same size. And now I can click that and actually go to the cruises page, which we have done no work on. Click back to the activities page. Here we are. That's a rollover image. So pretty simple. Okay. Now, the next thing we can do, and I want you to do, is we're going to add some video. So, simple way to make some video. I'm going to go to a page about dolphins and talk why I like that page, why I like dolphins, and I'm going to create a video. Okay, so I'm going to go back to all, and I'm going to go find a good page about dolphins, Dolphins Defenders of Wildlife. Here it is, okay, and I want to create a video. Now, I'm going to create a Loom account to do this. And this Loom account is going to allow me to create this video. Just like I'm creating this video right now, you're going to create a video just like this. You're going to click new video. You're going to do that video. You're going to click on one of your favorite things. You're going to talk about it, create that video, which then will be a download that will go into your downloads folder. Once you download that, you can download it and put it into your downloads folder, and it'll become a video in your downloads folder. Then you can take it and you can put it into your web design folder or wherever you want to do it, and you can take that and put that video in there. So I create a video, and I'm going to go back here into Dreamweaver, and I want to add this video below these dolphins. So I'm simply going to hit tab and add a new spot, a new row for that video. Now, when I want to put this video in, I'm going to insert the video into here, and I click Insert Media to put in a video. And I'm going to click Insert Media, and I'm going to go to Plugin. I'm going to put in a plugin. Okay, where is that video now? It's asking me. Where is that video located? Well, I should get that video into my assets folder. And if you look right now, I have no video in here. So that's not very good. So once I get that video out of my downloads, I'm going to want to put that video into here. Okay, and so let me demonstrate that right now. I'm going to go out to DHS Shared, Business Ed, and I'm going to go to Graphics, Business Ed. I was hoping I'd have a video, but it's not looking good. But here, I'll show you. I got this. Okay, so I'm going to go put in a video. I know I have some videos here. I've put it into my documents. Sorry. Oh, it is in Dreamweaver videos. Okay, so let's say I wanted to put this video in there. Right click, I'm going to copy this video. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put it into my web design folder, my websites, my striped umbrella folder. Okay, I'm going to put it into my assets. I'm going to right click. I'm going to paste that video in there. So now that video is in my assets folder for the striped umbrella. I'm going to cut it back out of there because I think I'm in the wrong spot here. Here's my striped umbrella site, right? So I have it right here. I'm going to paste it in there now. Okay, so now I put this video into my assets folder. Close this. If I go look in my assets now, that video is in there. If I hit refresh, okay, I'll be able to find that video in my assets. There it is. Dreamweaver Lesson 1 Introduction. It's an MP4. Okay, let's put this video in here. Insert, media, plugin. In my assets folder. There it is. There's my video. I go ahead and press OK and put that video in there. And you'll see that video get put into that spot. Now I can't see it right here because I'm in design view. But if I press F12 and click yes to save changes to preview it in the browser, whoa, here we go. Here's that video. It's not looking real good though, is it? It's pretty small. So let's close this. Let's go back to Dreamweaver. Go back to Dreamweaver. Let's change the size of this thing. Let's drag that thing bigger. Make it a width of 800. And let's make it a height of 500. That's F12 it now. Let's see what happens. There's my video. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to tweak that. Let's tweak some of those things so that it can mute it, can pause it, but I can insert that video using that plugin to get that inside my website. And it's probably a little too tall. I should maybe get some of this black strip out